In November 2021, a 29-year-old man stood on a penthouse balcony in the Bahamas. Below him, a private marina. Behind him, a $40 million apartment he shared with 10 friends. His name was Sam Bankman-Fried. The world called him SBF. He was worth $26 billion. Forbes put him on the cover. Politicians lined up to meet him. He promised to donate his entire fortune to charity. He slept 4 hours a night on a beanbag. He was hailed as the next Warren Buffett, the ethical face of crypto, the genius who would save the world with math. 1 year later, he was under arrest. His company, FTX, had collapsed in 10 days. $8 billion of customer money had vanished into a secret hole. Thousands of ordinary people lost their life savings, and the entire crypto world teetered on the edge of extinction. This is not just the story of a fraud. It is a mirror held up to the way we trust, invest, and worship genius. This is the unsealing of the FTX file. To understand the collapse, you have to start with a philosophy. Sam Bankman-Fried was raised by 2 Stanford law professors. Dinner conversations were about utilitarianism, logic, and the ethics of doing the most good with the least harm. He discovered a movement called effective altruism. The idea was radical but simple: get rich and give it away. He didn't set out to be a crook. He set out to be a saint. After MIT, he landed at Jane Street Capital, a quantitative trading firm where math nerds traded ETFs with algorithms. He was good, very good, but he absorbed something dangerous there, a belief that if the numbers say it's fine, it's fine. Rules are just friction. Risk is just a calculation. And if you are smart enough, you are always right. In 2017, he noticed something. Bitcoin was trading at different prices in Japan and the US. The same asset, 10% gap.
Pure arbitrage.
He quit his job, launched a firm called Alameda Research, and started flying suitcases of cash through Asia. He made millions. He was 25, but Alameda was messy. Books were chaotic. Millions went missing. Most founders would slow down and build controls. SBF did the opposite. He decided to build an exchange, a clean, sleek platform that would make him the face of crypto. He called it FTX. FTX launched in 2019. The pitch was brilliant. It wasn't just a place to buy Bitcoin. It was a casino. You could trade crypto derivatives, leverage tokens, prediction markets. You could bet on the next election, the Super Bowl, anything. SBF wrapped it all in a nerd god persona. Messy hair, oversized t-shirts, sleeping on the floor next to his desk. The press ate it up, and the marketing was everywhere. Larry David mocked crypto in a Super Bowl ad that cost $6.5 million. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen became equity holders. The Miami Heat's arena was renamed FTX Arena. Stephen Curry became a global ambassador. The message was clear. This is the future, and it's safe because the smartest people on earth are behind it. But behind the scenes, a secret was growing. While FTX was collecting customer deposits, Alameda Research was bleeding cash. Crypto prices fell, and Alameda's risky trades soured. SBF had a problem. Alameda owed lenders hundreds of millions. The lenders wanted their money back, but SBF controlled both the exchange and the hedge fund, and he had found a backdoor. This is the core of the crime, the simplest, most devastating trick in finance. Take someone else's money and use it to fix your own mistakes. FTX's terms of service clearly stated that customer assets belonged solely to customers. They were not the firm's money, but buried in the code was a line that exempted Alameda Research from normal risk controls. Alameda had a virtually unlimited line of credit. It could borrow customer funds from the exchange without triggering alarms. Prosecutors later called it a secret backdoor. The jury saw evidence that over $8 billion was funneled from FTX customer accounts to Alameda. The money was used to pay lenders, fund venture investments, buy luxury real estate, and cover Alameda's losses. In plain language, SBF wrote himself a personal loan using your savings. And nobody saw it, because everyone trusted the genius, and because no third party ever audited the books. Not really. The accountants received balance sheets that SBF's team had fabricated. For 3 years, the lie held. Venture capitalists poured $2 billion into FTX at a $32 billion valuation. SBF became Washington's favorite crypto donor, giving millions to both parties. He was advising Congress on regulation. He was untouchable, but every fraud has a weakness, and his was a leaked balance sheet. On November 2, 2022, a financial news outlet called CoinDesk published a single article. It revealed something shocking. Alameda's balance sheet was built almost entirely on a token created by FTX itself, FTT. The same token FTX issued to users was being used as the collateral for a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund. It was as if General Electric had taken out loans backed by gift cards to its own stores. The value was a circle with no center. Changpeng Zhao, CEO of the rival exchange Binance, saw the article and knew immediately. He tweeted that Binance would sell its entire holding of FTT tokens, worth over $500 million. The market panicked. FTT's value began to plummet. Customers flooded FTX with withdrawal requests, $6 billion in 72 hours. But the money wasn't there. The backdoor had drained it. Alameda couldn't pay back what it owed, because the collateral was now worthless. SBF sent panicked messages to investors, begging for a bailout. He called rival CEOs, family friends, even the government of Saudi Arabia. No one would touch him. On November 11, 2022, FTX filed for bankruptcy. In 10 days, a $32 billion company was declared a smoking crater. The Bahamas penthouse, the naming rights, the political influence, all gone. An empire built on a beanbag collapsed under the weight of a simple truth: you cannot invent trust. In October 2023, Sam Bankman-Fried faced a jury in Manhattan. The charges: wire fraud, securities fraud, money laundering conspiracy. 7 counts. If convicted, he faced over 100 years in prison. But the real drama came from the people who knew him best. His inner circle had turned. His ex-girlfriend and Alameda CEO, Caroline Ellison, took the stand and testified that SBF directed her to steal customer funds. She called him the mastermind. Gary Wang, FTX's co-founder, admitted he wrote the code that created the secret backdoor. Nishad Singh, the engineering director, broke down, recounting the moment he realized the hole was $8 billion deep. One by one, they described a culture of lies, fear, and reckless arrogance. SBF took the stand in his own defense. It was a disaster. He claimed he didn't know, he was too busy, he delegated, he made mistakes but never intended harm. Under cross-examination, he said, "I don't recall," over 140 times. The jury deliberated for less than 5 hours. Guilty on all counts. In March 2024, a judge sentenced him to 25 years in federal prison. No fine could repair the damage. Thousands of victims wrote letters. A retired couple lost $2 million. A teacher lost her retirement. A father wrote that he could no longer afford his son's medical treatment. The Magic King became prisoner 372444510. But the story isn't over. The question that remains is the hardest one. Why did so many smart people believe? Every scandal leaves behind a trail of red flags that only become obvious in hindsight. But we can train ourselves to see them in foresight. Here are the 4 lessons from the FTX disaster that will protect you from the next financial magician. Red flag 1. The custody problem. If a company holds your money and also invests it, you are not a customer. You are an unsecured lender. FTX was a custodian, an exchange, and a hedge fund under one roof. There was no firewall. In traditional finance, this is illegal. In crypto, nobody asked until it was too late. Red flag 2. The God complex. When a founder is treated like a genius who cannot fail, alarm bells should ring. SBF's messy hair wasn't eccentricity. It was a carefully crafted distraction. Charisma is not competence. Never invest in someone who tells you they're too smart to be questioned. Red flag 3. The token collateral loop. If a company's balance sheet is backed by an asset it created itself, the entire structure is a house of cards. FTT was the key. It had no external value. It was a coin created by FTX, used as collateral for FTX's sister company, to borrow money from FTX's customers. Perfect, invisible circle. Real value requires an external anchor. Red flag 4. No audit, no money. FTX never had a genuine third-party audit by a reputable Big Four firm. Their accounting was a jumble of spreadsheets and Slack messages. The moment a company refuses to show a clean, audited financial statement, you walk. No exceptions. These 4 lessons are not hindsight. They are the universal signatures of fraud, from Enron to Madoff to FTX. They work in every market, every country, every era. If you take one thing from this case, take this: trust is not a feeling. It's a verification process. In the end, Sam Bankman-Fried wasn't brought down by regulators or auditors or the SEC. He was brought down by a spreadsheet someone leaked and a rival's tweet. The system didn't catch him, luck did. And that is perhaps the most terrifying truth of all. There are thousands of other unsealed vaults out there, right now, hiding behind polished smiles and clever math. Our job is to open them one case at a time, If the story opened your eyes, hit subscribe and join the investigation, because the next scandal is already being built. And when it cracks, you'll hear about it here first. Unseal the comments. Tell me, what was the single biggest red flag you would have spotted in the FTX case? I read every single reply. Next on Vault Unsealed, the fake billionaire who fooled Forbes, and the strange disappearance that followed. Until then, keep your eyes on the vault door, because not everything locked away stays hidden forever.